Shout out to Raider Nation. I'm Cliff Fortin. Welcome to the Raider Fan Podcast. Raiders! This is the first episode of my very own podcast. I welcome you on taking this journey with me as I talk about the Raiders. I'm going to try to cover the signings, the releases, any rumors throughout the season. Hopefully I can do a couple of podcasts a week and just talk about, my favorite team. I've been a fan for many years. I'm not a reporter. I don't work for the Raiders. I'm just your average fan who happens to be streaming from the East Coast. I know what a lot of people are going to say, isn't that the Patriot way? But the Raiders, we're worldwide. The silver and black have an amazing fan base. So I'm looking forward to this opportunity to talk about the Raiders. I've been on multiple different podcasts, and when we talk about football, I talk about the Raiders. So why not do it on my own podcast? What my goal is do, like I said, do one podcast a week, and then during the regular season, do two of them. We can talk about the game, and then we can talk about the upcoming game. One of the things I really want to start talking about is one of the signings that have already happened. The Raiders signed Christian Wilkins, which I think is one of the best signings in free agency in the NFL. This guy is one of the most dominant defensive tackles in the game. How dominant was this player? Defensive tackle had 9 sacks last year, which, if you know anything about football, defensive tackles really don't get that many sacks. Their main responsibility is to do their best to keep the guards off the linebackers, get a good pass rush, stay in the running lanes, but to get actual sacks on the quarterback, to get that kind of pressure where one person can't block you, is what we consider an unstoppable player. Now he's going to be side by side with Max Crosby. All that's going to do is make the defense better, help the secondary, help some of our younger players, and be a dominant force in the AFC West. This was a great signing. It comes at a cost. I think they signed him for a 4-year, $110 million contract, $87 million guaranteed. That comes up to about a little over $20 million per season. But if he can match what he did last year and help out Max Crosby, get even more sacks, get more pressure on the quarterback, help our secondary, it could be well worth it. And we can be a force to be reckoned with in the AFC West. The one painful thing that I think every Raider fan can agree on is the Raiders really haven't had much to talk about, haven't had much to celebrate up until now. Seeing where the Raiders started last year to where they ended is, a complete turnaround. And you can thank Antonio Pierce, you can thank, Mark Davis for making these decisions. And now he's the head coach. With seeing what he can bring to the table. Last year, we only had a couple of things to celebrate, especially on Christmas. Beating Kansas City is always a good thing to do, but to see and to relate to going back to greatness for the Raiders, it's going to take some time, but I'm not looking forward to a rebuild, and it doesn't look like the Raiders are rebuilding. It looks like that we're going to be reloading. What I'm interested in seeing is what the Raiders are going to do in the draft. I personally believe they're going to go after a defensive tackle not a defensive tackle, a defensive back, or an offensive tackle. Everybody on the board saying, go get a quarterback. We already have young quarterbacks. We have AOC, who I think finished the season remarkable last year. His last 4 or 5 games, 9 touchdowns, only 1 pick, over 1,200 passing yards. He's the second best rated rookie quarterback out of last year's class. So it's really hard to, look past him. Gardner Minshew, a good quarterback. He's traveled to team, so he could be a good backup. And we also signed Anthony Brown, who I don't know too much about him, but we already have 3 quarterbacks. I was surprised to see that they didn't bring in a veteran. Maybe that's Gardner. He may be the veteran of the group. That's one of the reasons why I can't see the Raiders going out and getting another rookie quarterback. I think they're going to have to go after some secondary and an offensive tackle. But like I said, to see the excitement, I can't wait. I can't wait for the regular season to come about. And I'm looking forward to doing podcasts throughout the year. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching the show. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Follow me on social media. I'm on all the major platforms. I'm even on TikTok. Until next time, Raider Nation, baby.